appointed Director General of the Department of State Service, Matthew Sheifa, has assured that the service will collaborate with all stakeholders in the management of security in the country. Sheifa, who gave the assurance at his maiden briefing in Abuja, said the service will continue to protect the national interest as it will also adhere and respect the legitimate rights of the citizen. DG pledged to redouble effort in the area of intelligence gathering.
Signal strongly that we will partner, work, collaborate, cooperate with all agencies in the management of security. And we will do our utmost in collaboration with other stakeholders to ensure the protection of law-abiding citizens and residents and national resources. You know, our responsibilities are enormous. We will do our utmost, as I said, to protect law-abiding citizens of Nigeria and our critical national assets. We will not tolerate the abuse of freedoms of people. Is it okay? We will not tolerate the abuse of freedoms of people. We will respect freedoms and rights of all Nigerians.
When asked on the continued detention of the former National Security Advisor, Sambo Dasuki, Sheifa said it's yet to be brief.
But we will also not be intimidated, no matter what. The service has its mandate, its statutory mandate. No matter what, we will not be intimidated. I know that, you know, this season especially, there are diverse interests at play. People will keep discussing and trying to demonize the service and all that. But we will not be cowed. We will not be intimidated. We will, you know, protect our mandate and wishes, as I said, to promote and project the national interest. So we will do our utmost. The Nigeria comes first. Nigeria comes first. The peace and security of this nation comes first. That is why we are in business.
The National Assembly will reconvene on Tuesday next week after weeks of being under pressure to do so. The agenda will primarily be supplementary budget and environment proposal President Muhammadu Buhari laid before the lawmaker before they embark on their current annual recess last month. The bulk of the proposals will go into funding the 2019 general election preparation by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Yusuf Lasu disclosed the reconvening date at the meeting of All Progressive Congress caucus of the House to review the last Tuesday invasion of the National Assembly by the Department of State Service operatives. Majority Leader of the House and the Leader of the caucus, Femi Gbajabiamila, led the APC member to the meeting. However, at the post-meeting press conference, it was Lasu who addressed a question on whether the National Assembly would reconvene. It will be recalled that on Wednesday, the Senate President Bukola Saraki and the Speaker of the House of Representatives had met with the Chairman of the INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakub, to deliberate on the urgency of the election budget. Senator Issa Misau from Bauchi has debunked the claim by the national leader of All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, that the National Assembly was planning to impeach President Muhammadu Buhari. Misau made the rebuttal in a statement in Abuja. He urged Nigerians to disregard what he described as empty talk by the APC chieftain. The senator spoke in response to a claim by Tinubu that there was plot by some senators to impeach Buhari. Tinubu had described what was going on in the nation as a war between progressive and conservatives. He noted that the comment made by the politician was mere partisan rhetoric aimed at catching the attention of the crowd at the rally plan for declaration of Senator Godswill Akpabio for the party.
Reactions have continued to thwart recent massive defections of politicians in Nigeria, moving from one political party to another. Recently, Nigerians saw the defection of more than 12 All Progressive Congress senators leaving their party to join the opposition party. Just last week, the Senate President Bukola Saraki, Kwara, Benue, and Sokoto state governors left their party to tent with the People's Democratic Party (PDP). A senatorial aspirant in Borno State under the umbrella of the People's Democratic Party, Hezke Maganim, said the recent defection from politicians is a welcome development in the nation's politics, which he believes is strengthening the country's democracy.
Defection is good because it's deepening democracy in the sense that people will always want to find a place to express their interests. And since our constitution does not permit independent candidacy, it now allows people to have to belong to a political party for them to be able to aspire. Now, if people find that their interest is not accommodated in one party, they easily move to another party where they think they would have a platform to express their interest. So, in one breath, it reduces impunity and deepens democracy. However, yes, everything we do politically is about interest. So there are some personal interests that people have that cannot be achieved where they are presently at. So you will find out that people cross-carpet from one political party to the other, and it's common in politics.
While reacting on the issue of the ruling party using the law enforcement agencies to intimidate the opposition party, Maganim said,
You find out that the majority of the people, that their cases are hyped, that their cases are brought aggressively to the public domain, always happen to be people from the opposition party. So one will begin to believe, because it gives a perception that the ruling government is after the opposition. That is what people see, and by the time you begin to see a trend, you begin to see things happening one after the other, and it looks like that is what it is. Then people begin to draw conclusions. You will realize also that even people within the ruling party who want to defect, all of a sudden you begin to hear cases being brought against them. The issue in mind is that of Benue. We hear people talking about 20 billion naira accusation against him shortly after he defected to PDP. So when you hear and see this kind of stories in the media, and you begin to wonder that could it be? So that is why people think that truly the government may be using its power and apparatus of government to intimidate the opposition.
When asked on the area he would effect changes in his senatorial district if elected into power come 2019, he said,
We are going to bring in an all-inclusive governance which has been absent. We are going to deal with people with integrity and show them that people are the reason why we are in position. We are going to use the office to bring about the kind of development that is needed in the community. And we are going to tell them the truth, because people are under the impression that being a senator or a House of Rep member is like you have executive power. You should be able to tell them what you can attract, and you can only pursue and lobby for development to come to your own area when you are lucky to be able to attract some earmarks in forms of constituency project to your location. You should be able to do a very good research to know what your people need and what will impact your people in terms of development. And all those funds that we're expecting to be able to attract for development of our people will judiciously be applied, and we'll follow and monitor and perform our oversight functions to make sure that that is done.
In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.
The national chairman of Social Democratic Party, SDP, Chief Olufalaye, has urged Nigerians to vote out political parties that failed the country in its 19 years of democratic governance. Falaye made the call in Lokoja at the grand finale of the campaign rally for the election of Umar Ahmed Imam, the SDP candidate in Saturday's Kogi Kotonkarifi Lokoja Federal Constituency by-election. He urged that the rejection should start with Saturday by-election as a prelude to 2019 general election. He described the action of the men of the DSS who recently invaded the National Assembly as undemocratic, and he called to anarchy. He urged all Nigerians with democratic credentials to rise in defense of democracy. He added that some Nigerians in 2015 joined forces to fight the then ruling PDP, which was allegedly enmeshed in corruption. Falaye said that the recent development in the country has shown that the ruling party was not better than PDP. He explained that the illegality of the federal government has trickled down to Kogi State, where a former Speaker of the House of Assembly, Umar Imam's seat was declared vacant for the campaign from APC to SDP. Falaye described the declaration of Lokoja State Constituency seat at the State House of Assembly vacant as illegal, criminal, and unconstitutional. Imam, while addressing the crowd after receiving the SDP chairman, urged the electorate to give their support to him, promising not to let them down.